Wow. Fairy Tale chapter 331. After Sir Clonis have disappeared Lucy's clothes, he begins to grab her in his claw and wants to eat her. Wendy and Mira Jane teams up and they begins to fight the dragon. And Sir Clonis in his anger throw Lucy very far away. Happy tries to follow after. Meanwhile, Natsu still has problems with Rouge. Was that the right thing to say? I mean, he still can't defeat him? No, 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 no. That's what I don't like. I know the rest of the world do, but I, for one, wants to see Natsu squirm his make. I want to see Future Rouge squirm, and I want to see Natsu pummeling his ass. But the reason for this, and one of the time they actually explain why, is because after all, Future Rouge's magic is 7 years older, thus it's more advanced than Natsu. But one could say he is at the same power level Natsu was for the Rouge 7 years now. Wait, was that confusing? Well, anyway, Rouge is just too strong. However, Natsu hears a cry and sees a naked Lucy flying away. His eyes, of course, pop out, and she flies in the direction Natsu stands. So she knocks Natsu off the dragon. Rouge, yes, huh? Well, then they land in a barrel and it begins to roll, and Natsu wonders why Lucy's naked, and when they roll, well, his Natsu gets his face behind Lucy's boobs. Oh my god. And when they get up, Lucy is deeply embarrassed, and Natsu just say, "So the legend about flying naked people is true?" Well, and Lucy begs Natsu not to look, and then Natsu suddenly grabs her boobs instead of doing this to his eyes. Lucy punches them, well, they begin to argue, but Happy stops them. Lucy takes a cloth, and with that, a tablecloth, and partially cover herself up. And then Natsu mourns the fact that Future Rouge is too powerful, and the dragon too. But then Lucy says something about all dragons this way. That is the fire dragon and the earth dragon, or something like that. Yeah, are all dragons that violent? Uh, and then suddenly Lucy looks strange at Natsu looks strange at Lucy, and says that's it. And he reveals he has a plan, but of course, uh, Lucy's tablecloth falls down. But he says he has a plan to defeating him. Okay. A plan to defeating them? Now, in fairy tale tradition, this plan will probably, in some cases, be regarded as stupid, or it will just be an completely, utterly insane, or more likely, just plain, how the hell could that happen? Well, anyway, I know I had something else to say about that plan, but of course now I have forgotten what I was supposed to say. Instead, I will just say, whatever the plan is, we'll see what we'll say once it comes in fruition, right? Ersa has problem dealing with the Dragon Knights because of her wounds. She begins to collapse, but Jellal saves her. Jellal was not arrested by those guys. However, this next scene may not be would have made it better. Well, not the scene that Jellal gives his hand to Ersa and helps her stand up. It's because Milianna sees Jellal and her eyes get psycho. Elsewhere, Natsu and Happy begins to fly, and Natsu has apparently described his plan, which Happy regard as crazy. But Natsu says he'll manage somehow. But they have left Lucy behind, who apparently spent some time changing into new clothes, and I must say I like these new clothes. And the face she gives up when she yells at them and when she gets so frustrated. I don't know why, but that puffed up cheek, it feels so cute and so sexy for some reason. And I enjoy these clothes because of her time skip clothes. I'm not really a fan of those with that mini skirt the and the ponytails. No, or was it ponytails? Well, uh, but these clothes look similar to Ersa in the first battle game. So well, maybe a little bit revealing, but at least now she finally has some new clothes. Say what you want about fairy tale newness, but in some cases fans do not really appreciate it because, well, sometimes you gotta have the right timing when it comes to nudity in manga, right? Well, technically it's not nudity, we do not see tits, we just see small partial of the boobs and ass, of course, but still, uh, it's always sometimes fairy tale tends to get a little bit over extracted with these naked ones, and sometimes they do not, and that makes them feel not too sexy, which I find frustrating. I want them to feel sexy all the time, but hey, everybody has their different tastes. And the chapter ends with Lucy seeing a notebook who she reveals is hers, but is actually written by her future self. Okay, I have talked a lot this chapter, but I'm gotta say, except that I have no problem against this. Still, that new strategy that Natsu came up with, as I said earlier, it makes me a little worried. But that's more because I'm afraid what others will say once he reveals his plan. It's gotta be some crazy plan, but that's what I like about Natsu. His crazy, reckless plans that has no strategy at all. Or probably he has this time. Either way, crazy or just plain unreal. I like that about Natsu's character. And I like Jellal saving Ersa. That guy is one of my favorite. Is one of my favorite characters. And I like new clothes. But that book, was that book really meant to be there? I mean, we saw future Lucy writing, but wasn't that on a note, not a diary or a book or whatever, uh, or something, or was it a notebook book or whatever? Well, I cannot remember. Unfortunately, I did not look that chapter up, but it was something about her eclipse plan and the Ryusei. So wasn't that a little plot hole of a note? But hey, I don't complain. So I know I was gonna say something more, but of course I have forgotten what that was. Instead, I'll say it was a fine chapter. Nothing really exciting happened, but well, except the nudity, of course. Oh yeah, I was gonna complain that Natsu did not get a nosebleed. Normally they do in these kind of cases, but in Fairy Tail and in Rave, I had noticed that the characters rarely, or if never, got nosebleed. Either that is Hero's way, or just that they may not be that sexually aroused. Or it could just be that it's Hero's way. He prefers to show nudity and their freaked out expressions instead of nosebleed that is common in other manga, especially One Piece and Kenichi. Well, that's all about this chapter. I'll see you next time.